What do I use on my RV to seal the roof and to seal the side of it? Windows, doors, etc. Do I use silicone? Do I use cap sealant? Do I use lap sealant? Butyl tape, putty tape? Well, we're going to explore that today in the Smart RVer Podcast under the Staying on the Road section. Then after we figure out what sealants you should be using, we're going to talk about 10 dog-friendly RV parks, and then we're going to cruise on over to Kansas and discover all of Kansas. We're even going to visit Dorothy's house. Well, probably not. And then in RV Envy, we're going to talk about Blackbeard fire starters. And if you don't know what those are, you got to hang around to find out. They are super cool. And just the name, Blackbeard, right? Sounds good? All right, so this is Eric Stark with the Smart RVer Podcast, delivering the smarts you need to enjoy the freedom of the RV lifestyle without the fear of breaking down. So let's talk everything RV, and today is episode 155, so let's dig in. And Alexis is back on the show this week.
I'm back.
After her disappearing
my sabbatical.
Sabbatical, that's right. So how are you, Alexis?
I'm doing really good today. Thank you.
Good. She's wide awake, ready to go.
I am.
Behind the microphone, ready to talk it up.
That's right.
All right. She's not a blabbermouth like me, though.
Sometimes.
Yeah, depends on what it is, right? So, hey, just a reminder, when you take your RV into a service center and you're going to have them work on whatever it might be, maybe they're going to be in the cabinets, working on who knows, or in a certain area working on the water heater. Make sure that you take all of the stuff out you have in storage in that general area out of the RV. Leave it at home, or don't even have anything in the RV of value, things sitting out. You know, I went to a dealership one time. In fact, it was Bish's RV. And in their service department, they have these RVs in there, and they have stuff scattered all over the shop that came out of the bays, the compartments of the RVs. That stuff could just disappear. They could use it, throw it back in the pile. No organization whatsoever. And also technicians, when they're working on the RV, if the stuff's in their way, they're not going to treat it nicely. They're just going to throw it out of the way and get this out of here. So think about that when you take your RV. And it's the same with a car. Like when I take my car to a dealership and I empty it out, there is no temptation at all. So just a reminder, when you take it in, make it easier on the guys and don't tempt anybody. You know, not that all the RV guys or technicians are crooks or anything, but temptation, you know.
It's a good tip.
It's there, but things can get broken, lost, et cetera, as well. Then it creates problems.
Yep.
Why did you bring it in with all this stuff? Well, I just, brought it in. I didn't realize, Make it easier for them. And then show us some love, too. Recommend us to your family, to friends, anybody and everybody. Support the show. Let the world know about us. All right, now let's get into enjoying the RV life. And let's talk about the top 10 dog-friendly RV parks. So these are the top 10 out of 11. No. So these are the top 10.
That's right.
Are these your top 10 or the internet's top 10 or is this
It's a mixture of both. Yeah. I did a little research and I had the help of Google, of course.
Google.
Yeah, I know. Reliable Google. But yeah, I thought this was interesting. A lot of people bring their pets and our pets are important to us. So we want to go places where they'll be, accepted and also have fun too. I mean, we love our pets. So this is kind of centered on dogs, but I'll just give you a rundown and you can look more on the website. There's more details, but there's one in Utah called the Zion River Resort. There's one in California, probably more than one, but the Pismo Coast Village RV Resort is a really good one for pets. There's one in Florida, Topsail Hill Preserve State Park. Another one in California. Here we go. Yosemite Pines RV Resort and Family Lodging. One in Tennessee, Pine Mountain RV Resort. Again, Florida, Camp Golf RV Park. New York, Lake George, New York, Lake George RV Park. Then another one in California. Look at that. Californians love their dogs. Jackson Ranchera RV Park. One in Alabama, Gulf State Park Campground. And then another one in California, Durango RV Resort. So just do a little research before you go. I mean, this is just a list of really, really good ones. But if you're going somewhere else, just, search it up and see where dog-friendly places are.
Right. And it makes a difference to know in advance, especially if the park's really friendly or not. Some parks will allow pets, but they don't really want pets.
But they don't. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and this helps you think about it and find a place. You can check this out on the smartrver.com. And, another thing, too, when you're traveling with a pet, I'm not going to tell you any stories because they're way too graphic and they're not, you just don't need to hear it. But do not ever leave your pet tied up to the side of your motorhome, trailer, truck, anything like that, ever. Always tie them up to something else if you're going to have them outside. And it's an ugly reminder, but
Chevy Chase knows.
It has to be said. Sometimes things happen, right?
Yikes.
No matter how good our intentions are or how much we love our pet. Now, if it's your mother-in-law, that's a different story.
Totally.
Tie her up.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We love mother-in-laws here.
We do.
All right. So that's a nice reminder about the dog-friendly RV parks. And, of course, there's more than just 10, either the top 10 or, the supposed top 10. But you might have a park you love going to. So just, think about it before you go. Just because they allow pets doesn't mean it's going to be pet-friendly. That's what's important. All right. So now go to the smartrver.com, and you can check out the list on the website in the RV lifestyle section, enjoying the RV lifestyle section. And, of course, there's more articles there as well. Now, let's go to staying on the road, and we're going to talk about sealants. What do you use on your RV to seal a window, to seal a vent on the roof? It seems pretty obvious, but, man, it is confusing out there. If you look on the internet, there's every option under the sun. And then some. And then I know from experience in the store, people just don't understand what they need to use, why they need to use it.
Right.
We're forever explaining this to people, and everything is referred to as silicone.
I know. Yeah.
And there's a lot of different sealants and silicones. In fact, we are an anti-silicone establishment.
We are, actually.
We don't sell it. We won't sell it. We don't recommend it. Silicone is not a friendly sealing agent for anything, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the silicone manufacturers, they might have a different say on it, and even some of you listening might have a different say. You might have a specific application that silicone works fine on, and that's great. If there's a place for it, great. But it's not paintable. It's almost impossible to remove. You get it on the side of an RV, it'll take you hours to get it off, even a little spot. And some of the sealants that are used from the factory will take hours to get off anyways.
Yeah.
But you can get it off where silicone is just so hard. Okay, so there's my anti-silicone rant. So I'm going to contain myself for the rest of the show.
Wow.
Maybe. We'll see.
That's a change.
So I was looking on the internet for sealing a roof. And I find it interesting, all of the homebrew methods, the things that people have come up with to seal their roofs. And, we hear it in the store, too. People come in, we watch this YouTube video, and, if I do this and that, I can seal my roof, and, it'll never leak. It's good for eternity. And, that's probably not the case. And a lot of the stuff you hear is somebody's experience, and it may work for them, but it might not work for you. But back to the glut of stuff on the internet. Man, there is so much. I have a list, and it's just a tiny little fraction of what is there. But, Loctite, they make something for sealing roofs. Serval, never heard of them. Camping World maybe has their own brand, so it's probably repackaged from, I don't know, Dicor or a company from China. Who knows? A product called RV Guard. There's another one, Zeolo RV Flex. Lowe's sells products for RV rubber roofs. Lowe's. That's a hardware store. You buy lumber there. Home Depot does as well. Hardware store. You buy lumber there. Now, if they're selling a brand that is proven to work on RVs, then that's a different story. because sometimes they do carry a little section of RV related things. But when you're in Home Depot and Lowe's, you do not want to buy something for a house and use it on an RV, or a commercial building. You don't want to use it on an RV rubber roof. GeoCell's another brand. Now, that's a popular brand. It's a well-known brand. It's well-liked in the RV industry. A lot of technicians swear by it. Landco Plus. Camco has their deal. Everbond, which is okay. Now, Beach Lane RV, they sell some, I shouldn't even have said their name. They sell some stuff on Amazon, and we've bought it. We've tried it. It's just junk. And that's our experience. And so they sell a roof sealant, and I'm thinking, if a toilet part don't work, why would you expose your roof to that? Then there's a product called Flex Seal, which you see the advertisements for that all the time. And that's as seen on TV stuff, and they guarantee that, you can blow a hole through the roof of your RV with a shotgun and put on some Flex Seal and it's not going to leak. You can cut your boat in half and seal it back up. Mm-hmm. If you got a submarine, it gets hit by a torpedo, you just brush on some Flex Seal, you're good to go.
Yep, that sounds right.
So a lot of it's gimmicky. And that's the point of this, is staying away from the gimmicky stuff. Sticking with what really works. And there's only a couple brands that really work that you can trust. Eternabond is another option. Now, Eternabond's the tape that sticks onto a rubber roof, and it sticks onto aluminum and fiberglass as well. Now, Eternabond, I think, has a place in the RV world, definitely. You tear your rubber roof, you put a hole in a cargo trailer in the front cap, the roof on aluminum. It's a permanent fix, or almost permanent. It works very well. But, I think if you were to seal all your seams, which is how they push it, so like instead of using lap sealant, you're to go around all your vents and seams with Eternabond, as long as it stayed on there forever and you never had to replace a vent because all your screws are covered with it, it might be a bit of a challenge to get it off the rubber roof without tearing it or ruining it. So that would be my hesitation. But if you tear the roof, yeah, Eternabond for sure. Mm-hmm. Or if you're selling your RV and you don't care, you just want to have a little bonus, the roof will never leak, then Eternabond might be your option. But, I think just going with a lap sealant like what Dicor makes, Alpha System's another one, which is a good brand. Just go with a lap sealant. And I think Dicor is the one to go with. And there's a lot of lap sealants out there that people come up with their own formula. They start selling it, and we've talked to some people like that, and nothing ever comes to fruition. They promise us the world, and we never see an ounce of product. They're, we'd love to sell it to you, and we never goes any further than that. And so they got their little gimmick market going on, and maybe it is good. I don't know. I'd rather stick with Dicor. It's a tried and true product. They do roofs, and that's all they do. Well, they do other stuff, but they specialize in roofs. So that's, a guarantee. And then there's a product called RV Roof Magic. Now, we haven't used it, but we do recommend it. If you're going to coat your rubber roof, not just do some repairs, you want to coat the roof. You want it to look nice and pretty again. There's a lot of systems for that. Dicor has one. Hangs Elixir has one. There's Cool Seal. There's all sorts of it out there. But unless it permanently bonds to the roof and becomes part of the rubber roof, you've just created more maintenance for you. It'll look really nice in the beginning. It's nice and bright white and everything. But over time, it's going to be maintenance. Now, Dicor system works much, much better than, let's say, the Elixir or Hangs brand. It's not permanent, but it's closer to it. Where RV Roof Magic becomes part of the rubber roof. So that is a good product, and we do recommend that. And I think that product works very well. There's a guy on Quora.com, Thomas Donnelly, and he pretty much agrees with what we're saying here. He's an RV guy, or actually he's a RV owner, and, another person was supporting him, and it's basically the same thing. Don't use all this other stuff, and stay away from silicone. And it's important with rubber roof to use what's made for a rubber roof. You don't want to just use anything. Like at a hardware store, man, they will sell you, this will seal your roof, no problem. I just put this on my house last winter. Oh, man, no leaks or whatsoever. Well, it's for a house. You wouldn't put black tar on your rubber roof. or white tar, whatever. Stick with what's made for RVs and stick with a name brand like Dicor. Maybe it's a little more expensive, but you're not talking a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah.
And protecting your roof is important because that's your entire investment's underneath your roof.
Exactly.
So take care of that bad boy. And also, it's not just the lap sealant. Like, let's say you're replacing a vent. Do you use butyl tape under the bottom of the vent to seal it to the roof, or do you use putty tape? Putty tape is cheaper. It's, the names are interchanged. I mean, people call butyl tape putty tape. They call putty tape butyl tape. But butyl tape is a better product. You can use putty tape. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if you use it for vents and things like that. But butyl tape is a much better product. Maybe a little more expensive, but again, it's not that much to begin with. So I would stick with butyl tape. That's my recommendation. We don't even sell putty tape here. We only sell butyl tape. Well, we do sell some vent installation kits, and they're butyl tape. Probably not the most high-end stuff, but it is butyl tape. I mean, if you're putting a catch on the side of your RV for your door and you have putty tape, sure, why not, But a roof vent, no way. Your roof, windows, use butyl tape. You will not regret that. And it's important that you use the right things. And really, when we're done here, we're going to narrow this down to 3 different products. That's all that you're going to have to know about is 3 different products. And that makes life so much simpler. You don't have to Google this anymore.
Exactly.
And get all confused and go to the wrong stores.
Right.
The side of the RV, if you want to, let's say, take your windows out and reseal them, or you're going to replace your clearance lights or tail lights or door, whatever it is, it's the same amount of confusion on the side of an RV. The roof is easy, lap sealant, but you got all this other junk out there. Well, it's the same on the side. Silicone is constantly recommended. And do not use silicone. It is not made for RVs. It has its purpose somewhere in life, but not on an RV. Mm-hmm. And on the side of an RV, I mean, there's, again, all the different brands of stuff. And, everybody like Flex Seal, they're going to have something that'll work on the side of the RV. So they say DAP products, they make caulking for windows and toilets and showers and stuff. I have so many things here on my list, and my handwriting's so bad too. That makes it harder. But, I mean, there's hundreds of different brands and of these products. Mm-hmm. But again, let's just simplify it. Like Sikaflex is a brand that's very popular, which works well. The GeoCell, very popular, works well. There's another one, I can't think of the name of it. I can see the orange label. They're in the RV industry. That's what they do. They're not outsiders coming in with just a product they think is going to work because it works on their aluminum fishing boat. They're tried and proven for the RV industry. And Dicor, they make lap sealant, and their lap sealant works awesome.
It does.
And they also make, it's called cap sealant, C-A-P, cap sealant. And it's for the side of RVs, for the windows, doors, baggage compartments, things like that. And it's the same deal. You're going to use butyl tape. Let's say you're replacing your window. You're going to pull it out, clean off all the old stuff. You're going to put butyl tape on the frame of the window. You're going to put it back in, and then after you tighten it, the butyl tape squeezes out. You're going to put a bead of cap sealant across the top of the window, maybe down a few inches on the side. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go around the whole window. There's no need for that. The water comes down the top. If you want to do the sides, you could, but you certainly don't need to do the bottom. Water doesn't leak up usually. So, doesn't that simplify it when you have Dicor's lap sealant and cap sealant? And no, we're not sponsored by Dicor.
Right.
I get nothing for saying this. It's just Dicor is a good product.
We know it.
And if you've been listening to the show, we promote good products, period. Whether we get paid or not. And they're not paying us. That's for sure. We don't even get discounts on product. We should. We should get it all free. But
right.
in all seriousness, know that Dicor just makes good products. And if you keep that in mind, and maybe you have a brand that works, maybe Sikaflex or GeoCell is your brand, that's fine because it's made for RVs, and they have different formulas for different things. Just like Dicor, they have cap sealant, lap sealant, and they also have no sag lap sealant too. So if you're doing something on your rubber roof on the side, it wraps around the edge, you can use that. But it's using the right things. You don't want to use cap sealant on a rubber roof. You want to use it on the side of the RV. You don't want to use lap sealant on the side of the RV. That doesn't work. So you have basically two different sealants here plus butyl tape. And also Dicor makes a butyl product that comes in a cartridge, kind of like silicone, so you can squeeze it out. So you don't have to buy the tape and put it on there. You can do the cartridge, especially if you know you're going to use the whole cartridge or a big chunk of it. Can make it easier to do certain things. Window frames, things like that. And it works the same as butyl, regular butyl. It just comes in a cartridge. So it's sometimes maybe easier to use or a little more accurate. You know, you don't have as much waste, you know, I guess. Skylights, that's what they typically use on a skylight. So it works on vents. But, you know, so butyl, cap sealant, and lap sealant are what you want. And the butyl tape, you know, even there, that you got to go with a good brand. You know, you have an investment here. This is not the time to cheap out. So at the end of the day, one brand, Dicor. That's all you need to seal your RV from the outside. That's all you need. So keep that in mind and just go to your RV store. If you're buying it online, buy the Dicor brand because there are tons of others, you know, like, man, it just the list goes on and on and on. So I don't want to bore everybody with this and keep rambling on, but just keep that in mind. Dicor is all you need, unless you have your own favorite brand. Oh, one other thing came to mind. You know, one of my friends came to me and he had this product that they use on something he makes, and he goes, "Oh, you got to try this stuff. It works great." He goes, "I used it on the oven vent or the range hood vent on my RV. Man, I put that thing on there. It will never come off." So right there's a stopper for me. Why would you want to put something on the side of your RV that you're never going to get it off? And you will, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard enough sometimes to get something old off the side of an RV and clean up the sealant that the manufacturer put on, because they sometimes goop it on, and they use stuff that's almost impossible to get off. I mean, you have to use a battery powered oscillator, multi-tool. You know, you get one of those bits and just grind it down where it's not sharp anymore, and that works. It doesn't ruin the side of the RV, but that's what it takes sometimes. So be careful with that too. Maybe it'll never leak, but it'll never come off, according to him. So you don't want to do that unless you know you're selling the RV and you don't care. But we know you care. You guys are smart RVers. Okay, so now we're going to kind of put that to bed now. And we'll probably talk about it in another year or so, because it always comes up, especially roof type stuff. You got to protect that roof. It's very important. It's a big deal. Okay, now if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see the different videos we are constantly coming out with. Every other week we have a new video, one way or the other, and it's always about something to do with either maybe something we talked about on the show or something we haven't talked about on the show. So it's not like a repeat. It's not going to be the same boredom. And the way we talk about something on the podcast is usually quite different than how we do a video. So even if you've heard it, you got to see it. So go to youtube.com and type in the Smart RVer and you will find us. Now that takes us to the next stop. And today we're going to go to Kansas, and we're going to discover the entire heartland of Kansas.
Yeah.
We're going to see it all. Dorothy, Toto, everything.
The Wicked Witch.
So, Alexis, this is right up your alley.
It is. It is. I'm really excited about this one.
Aren't you from Kansas?
No, you know I know.
Kalispell.
Kalispell. A little bit of a difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montana, Kansas, yeah.
All right.
Anyways. Yeah, so people think, okay, Kansas, great, fine, it's flat, it's boring. Well, it's not, actually. There's rolling hills, there's a lot of forests, there's a lot of really pretty lakes and rivers. And so taking advantage of this, going and seeing it is actually a really cool thing. The Flint Hill Scenic Byway is something I would recommend doing, because it's a 47-mile stretch, so not like a huge stretch of road. But if you take it, it winds through some of Kansas' most beautiful landscape. There's really pretty hiking too off of it, wildlife viewing, and a chance for photography. So if you want to get a look at Kansas, go on this byway, because it's pretty cool. You see a lot of it. that you didn't know was there.
Yeah, Kansas is very nice.
It is.
I've
Yeah.
been through there a couple times.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. It's got kind of a relaxing feel to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Comfortable feel, and there's a lot of history there.
Lots of history. Very cool.
You know, a lot of things took place there. Who was from Kansas?
Yeah.
Dorothy. Daniel Boone was Kentucky, right?
Yeah, Kentucky, yeah.
He's a big man. Anyway, so, yeah, you know, there's these states, they've been around a long time, right? They've been around forever, but they became states, 250 years ago approximately. So there's history there, and Kansas is one of the places, all the rolling hills with the agriculture is pretty cool looking.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
And of course it's an outdoor area, so if you love the outdoors, which you're an RVer, you probably do. Great place for you, and it's an awesome place for RVing.
It really is, yeah.
Easy state to travel around to.
Very easy. Yeah, very fun.
Some states are kind of a chore, but
This one's
Kansas
not.
is an easy one.
Yeah. Go
So
check
again,
it out.
it's one more of these places that is on our list, the never-ending list,
Definitely.
So there's a lot to see in the United States.
Yes,
There really is. There's a whole bunch.
It's fun.
So there's more information on our website, smartrver.com, under the next stop, and it's Discovering the Heartland, all about Kansas. So you can check that out when you have a moment or you're getting ready to plan your next trip. Now that brings us into RV Envy. This is the part everybody's been waiting for, because we talked about pirates, Blackbeard, right?
Woohoo!
I think he was pretty much a scumbag, but heck,
Yeah,
he was a pirate, Something about pirates, So Blackbeard fire starters, you've probably never heard of them. Well, if you go to our website, smartrver.com, right on the homepage, there's a logo, says Blackbeard. If you click on that logo, it'll take you to Blackbeard's website, and if you buy a couple fire starters, we get about 2 cents each as a commission, so we appreciate that. But we actually sell these in our store as well. Now, Blackbeard fire starters, so we know what we're talking about here, they're just things for starting a fire. So if you're out camping, probably more tent camping, you could see the use for it, but really they have a lot of uses. Depending on where you go RVing at, what it takes to start fires. But if you're a tent camper, hiker, definitely something you'd want to have in your bag. If you have a go bag, a 72-hour bag, in case of emergency, you definitely want these in there. They're very small. You can get 50 packs. You can get sticks that you can pull apart. And what makes them so unique is you can basically light a fire underwater. It can be raining on you. It can be snowing on you. It can be windy. These things will start up and they get the fire going. Now, it's not going to be the fire. You still have to have some fuel to put on it, like, pieces of wood, so forth, to get the fire going, but it starts the fire. And their website, they have all sorts of videos and stuff, but you're going to see it and you're going to know exactly what we're talking about. It's a great product, though. And the prices are very affordable, very good prices. And they have a ferro rod, you can take a striker and hit it, and it does shower of sparks on the starter, and then you got a fire. Real simple. Go to our website, smartrver.com, click on the logo, Blackbeard Fire Starters, takes you to their website, and do a little shopping. These things are just a must-have. Even if you don't think you're going to use it RVing, you should have some for starting a fire just in case. Emergencies happen. The world's on fire. Get it?
Yes,
Alexis?
I do.
Little joke there, right?
That was good.
All right. So we're coming to the end of the show here. So as a reminder, go to our YouTube channel and check out the Smart RVer there. Check out the videos. You can also go to our website, sunpromfg.com, if you need a slide-out awning fabric or looking for a windshield cover or awning shade, whatever it might be, to keep the sun out of your life while you're out RVing. All right, so we had a great show today. I want to thank everybody for coming by, for Alexis being here and being awake and ready to go. So this is Eric Stark with the Smart RVer Podcast. It's been great hanging out with you. If I don't see you on the road, let's connect at smartrver.com.